Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of Behind the Strings. I'm your host, Clarissa Jane, and today we have Miss Molly.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
How's your heart today?
My heart today is good. I had a lot of caffeine, and so it's pounding.
Is it a little jittery today?
It's a little jittery, but it's good.
Is it good jittery?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Well, I'm so happy to have you here and to be sitting and get to chit chat with you. I have been researching you a little bit, and I have a couple questions to ask you. So, you have been on tour a lot.
Yeah, this year has been my first year touring with my band, Farmer's Wife.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How has that been?
It's been great.
Are you finished touring?
For the year, yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. Ugh. Are you going to tour more?
Yeah, next year.
Okay. So she's got a little bit of a break. So tell me about, how did you pick where you were going to go, or was it picked for you? And how has it been? Like, was it everything you dreamed of? Was there like a little secret that nobody tells you about touring? Like, what's the vibe?
Well, I think whenever you see a tour depicted in media, it seems
the socials.
Yeah, it's like very, very rock and roll lifestyle.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll, and a lot of fun. And it is a lot of fun. Not a lot of sex or drugs. Lots of rock and roll.
It's very wholesome.
Yeah, pretty wholesome. My band is like, we're all really good friends. Like, my big brother's in the band.
That's right.
We're all like best friends.
Yeah.
And so that part of it is very wholesome.
Good.
But it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And
I imagine.
It's our first time doing it. We're not making a whole bunch of money, and so we're sleeping on floors where we can, and that part of it is very interesting to see all of these different places and the way people live in all these different places. But also, it's been really amazing to see the kindness that's extended to us.
I love that.
Yeah, it's been...
What an opportunity for society to come together,
yes,
right?
It has honestly reinstilled my faith in society.
Oh, good.
The fact that, like, our drummer's friend from high school and her husband are willing to welcome in, like, 4 strangers, you know?
Just like, hey, I need a place to lay my head.
Yeah.
It won't take up too much space, I promise.
It's really awesome. And also getting to reconnect with people from across the country that I've known throughout my life, and getting to see them in new ways.
Yeah,
that's
really
amazing.
Beautiful. That's amazing. I imagine it changes perspective on a lot of things.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, like, when you play at different shows and you can get a sense of the crowd in each show in each different city place, can you tell a difference between the places that you go, or would you say that your fan base all kind of has the same vibe?
I'd say there's places where you can tell that these communities are hungry for experiences like this, and to be able to see the artists that they love. Yeah. And that's beautiful. But across the board, our fans are just awesome people. Yeah. And it's really cool seeing, like, girls coming in, like, their cute little outfits. Oh, I love it. When we were in in Albuquerque, there were these girls, and they had these headbands, and they had all these bugs on them.
Oh,
and,
how
like,
cute.
Different bug jewelry.
You're like, wait, where'd you get that?
I know. I was like, wait, I love that. It's so cute.
Also, totally forgot to mention this in the beginning. The name of your band?
Farmer's Wife.
Farmer's Wife.
Yeah.
All on Spotify, Apple, everywhere you can listen.
Everywhere you can
Farmer's Wife, everyone. Stay tuned for 2025 shows. So I want to talk to you about your most popular song currently, which has the best title ever. I'm pretty sure you already know what I'm going to say. Greg Abbott's Maxi Pad.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a hot topic of discussion.
Yeah.
Tell me about this song and why, because arguably it's a bold statement, right?
Yes.
So tell me about it.
So we formed our band in 2021.
Okay.
In the spring was whenever we were writing music and getting together for the first time.
Okay.
And right around then was also when Roe v. Wade was overturned, and everything was going on in Texas, specifically with our lovely governor.
Sweet Greg Abbott.
Yeah, and it was just a time that was very shocking to witness and be a part of. I'm sure you felt it too.
Yeah. It's kind of like we're in the 21st century. But this is happening.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we going to do about that? You know?
Like, as we're slowly turning into The Handmaid's Tale, which is so dystopian, but then as you watch it, it's like, oh, I could see this being a reality not that far off.
I know.
And so that song was kind of just like a fuck you to these systems that are put in place to keep us down. And it's not like restricting abortion access means that people aren't going to have abortions. Right. It's like people are going to have unsafe abortions.
Yes. And potentially life-threatening.
And the people who are in power are like still going to be getting abortions safely. Yeah. But it's like really just a means of keeping the poor and like creating the wage gap, making it even bigger.
Yeah. Do you think he's heard that song?
Oh, I don't think so.
I hope so.
I hope so too. But whenever we were working on it and naming it, we were like, oh, if we can get sued by Greg Abbott, we've made it.
Yeah.
Like, if we get a cease and
that
desist,
doesn't mean sue them, Greg Abbott.
Please don't sue us.
But it's funny.
But we were like, if he were to hear this, then we've made it.
Absolutely. I really hope he has. And if not, perhaps I'll send it to him. I don't know his contact information, but maybe I'll put it on a little flash drive and then I'll just mail the flash drive.
We like can set up outside the Capitol or the governor's mansion and blare
with the boombox. Yeah. We'll be totally 80s rom-com about it.
So cool.
And just here we are.
We played it at City Hall for there's a Farmer's Wife Day in Austin on August 29th. And we went to City Hall and they made a proclamation for us and we played Greg Abbott's Maxi Pad.
How was the reaction from the crowd?
They were so into it.
I imagine a mosh pit formed.
No mosh pit. It was like
dang.
It was like Congress people.
Yeah, all the suits.
Just like sitting like, all right.
Like,
all
okay,
right. But you know, they received it well, and I wasn't supposed to, I like say the F word in the song, and I was not supposed to say it because it was broadcasted live, and then I was practicing it without saying it, but then I got really nervous.
Oh, yeah.
And I was halfway through the second verse like, oh, crap, I gotta censor myself right now.
Yeah. You're like, you know what, though? That's raw in the moment.
I accidentally pulled a Jim Morrison.
Ugh, that's okay. It happens to the best of us, you know, and we just keep moving.
Yeah, we keep it moving.
Okay, so in your songwriting process, what would you say gives that spark for you in your life and gives that kind of like oomph factor of, you know what, this is going to make a fabulous song?
Well, I feel like I don't know that it's gonna be a fabulous song until it's done.
Until it comes out. Yeah.
Or until we've like finished the song. But in our band, a lot of the time, like that's a very collaborative process. Yeah. So my brother will play something on the bass and we'll all be like, wait, keep it going.
Yeah, like, hold on, I like that.
Yeah. And so I feel like that collaboration is really exciting, especially when a song is in its inception. Yeah, because we're like, oh wow, this being in a room with 4 other people and feeling the way that a song is already impacting you, and it's not even
done,
and it's like 2 bars of a bass line. It's like, oh, we gotta keep going. And so that's really exciting. And then for other stuff I write like kind of folky acoustic stuff.
Okay.
And that's like I'll just be noodling until I find something that I really like on the guitar, or I will write all my like sadness in my notes app.
Yeah.
Like, turns into little notes app poetry, and then pulling from there. Or I'll start with like a melody in my head, and then that'll be a voice memo, and then I'll like send that to someone in our band, and then we'll go off of that.
Yeah, I love that. So have you found, and maybe you didn't notice it in the moment and like as time has gone on, but sitting here now, being able to look back at all of this stuff you've put out and all of the songs you've written, whether they're published or not, do you see any kind of common theme or common motif throughout your songs?
I think with Farmer's Wife stuff, we have this kind of like twisted fairy tale vibe going throughout, and I feel like that's really interesting to play with.
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like I'm still very connected to my inner child, and I love like I still love like princesses and fairies and
all the
like
Barbie movies.
Yes, the Barbie
I
movies.
just watched the Barbie Nutcracker the other day.
Oh my god.
It makes your heart just feel, it's like a hug.
Yes,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're still super connected with all of that, and so you get to tie that into like Farmer's Wife kind of stuff.
Tying that in, but also like with the influence of like where I'm at now in my life, and having like dealing with mental health issues and kind of more twisted themes. Like when we started Farmer's Wife, I was obsessed with Hole and Courtney Love.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like Yoko Ono.
Oh,
and,
boy. Hot topic.
Like Veruca Salt and all of these.
Veruca
Like,
Salt.
I love Veruca Salt.
Love her.
But I kind of like became really obsessed with the idea of being an evil woman.
Yeah.
And like just being bad.
Well, there's so much power
totally
behind that, you know, especially as a woman, and especially, you know, in the times that we're facing now, which is wild to think about. There is this argument that, and I've made this argument to a lot of people, and, you know, I talk my boyfriend's ear off about it, but it's like, we as women, and as for starting from young girls, we're, you know, conditioned is a strong word, but taught to be graceful, be mindful, be calm, and that's where our power comes from, right?
Yeah.
And then when we try that in the real world with other grown-ups, I have so many experiences where I'm not heard if I am just, hi, can I, you know, bother you for XYZ, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of a specific instance that I won't broadcast, but it's like, you know, it's not as simple as, can I borrow something, right? It's like, I need to be heard and my boundaries are not being respected, right? And my perspective was not respected until I had to throw a fit about it.
Yeah.
Until I had to kind of yell about it, and not in a way of like getting really angry and loud, because that's just not who I am personally, but being assertive and being able to like draw from that power. And then in those moments that I have to do that, which thankfully has not been very much, I do kind of pause and I'm like, all of the villain women have a point.
They do.
They all have this power. And so I think back to all of those stories, like all in the Barbie movies or in the princess movies, when there's a female villain, it's like, maybe she just wasn't heard.
Totally. And that actually reminds me a lot of Batman and Robin with Uma Thurman.
Yep.
Like, first off, Uma Thurman in that movie, it was like my awakening as like a queer person at a very young age.
Understandable.
But I rewatched that movie in the last few years, and I was like, wait, no, she's an environmentalist. Like, she's trying to save the world from like capitalist expansion and imperialism, and she's like using her sensuality as a means to save the world. And I was like, that,
what a genius.
It's like, it's going back and realizing the things that had such a big impact on you at a young age, but you don't know why. And then coming back to it and being like, oh, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah. It's like having that itch that you don't know why it feels so good to scratch it. And then when you get older and you start realizing, like, and this is, you know, slightly off topic, but like in Shrek, for example, there's so many adult jokes in that movie, and so many childhood movies that we would watch that you watch now with adult brain and eyes, and you're like,
It's like, oh my God, they put that in a kids movie.
Yeah, you're like, wait a second. I'm glad that went straight over my head when I was a kid, but now it's like you see it with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
And so like having all of those new perspectives as you get older, and also as you learn about yourself and you learn about the world around you, and you make all these different kinds of relationships, and you're able to have that perspective to catch those things.
Totally.
So then you can turn it into content and writing songs about those perspectives and being able to put your own 2 cents into that perspective. Yeah, I love it.
I do too.
So tell me about this. Your brother is in your band. Has he always been in the band?
Since we've been playing shows, yes.
Okay.
But it started with me and Jude Hill, who's our lead guitarist.
Okay.
And we went to high school together.
Cute.
And we, like, in high school, I would bring a bass to school and he'd bring his guitar, and we would always both get to school way too early. And so we'd set up in, like, the dressing rooms for the theater and just play covers of like the Pixies. And
I love that.
Like,
where'd you go to school?
We went to school in Houston. It was this performing arts school.
I went to a performing arts school in Fort Worth, though, not in Houston.
Which one?
Fort Worth Academy of Fine Arts.
Oh my God.
Which one did you go to?
The High School for the Performing and Visual Arts.
Ah, classic.
Very
love
long
that.
name.
I mean, ours was acronymed FWAFA.
FWAFA?
Yeah. So, because that was a mouthful. So people were like, oh, you're a FWAFA kind?
Yeah, we would say HSPVA, but then that also just sounds like a disease, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it sounds very close to HPV.
Yeah.
And so my friends that went to different schools would kind of make fun of us for that. But it was still, like, such a beautiful place to get to be in adolescence.
Oh,
and,
my
like,
God, yeah.
figure out who you are.
Yeah.
You know?
So you guys would get to school real early and just noodle around on stuff.
Yeah.
And so when you graduated high school, did you both come to, because you're here, right?
Yeah.
So did you move here together?
No, Jude took a semester off because we graduated during the pandemic.
Ugh.
And so Jude took the first semester off and then came to Austin later. And I got here in August 2020.
Yeah.
And once we were both here, we kind of just, were figuring out like
what
how to navigate a new
do?
city when everything is shut down.
Yeah.
And we turned to music and we wanted to start a band together. And it was us two and then these 2 boys that were in my class in college, because I went to UT and Jude went to St. Edward's.
Hook
'em. But we were looking for a drummer. And we got on this website, Bandmix. Which, yeah.
It's like, shopping around.
I call it like Tinder for people who want to be in
Exactly,
bands.
yeah.
And we found this girl, Chloe Andrews.
Okay.
And she's now the drummer for Die Spitz.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking at all these people, and it was like middle-aged men.
Classic.
And she was the only person on there that was like a young girl.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, obviously we need to reach out to Chloe because, like, what are we going to be? A bunch of 18-year-olds.
Cute little babies. And then there's George in the corner.
Yeah. Which,
hey, no offense to George in the corner.
No offense to George in the corner. But we were all just like.
Would he want to be a part of a young.
I don't know. I don't know if it would have been a good fit.
Yeah.
But when we got Chloe in the band, it was beautiful.
Yay.
And she, her and I have the same astrological chart except for our moon sign. It's like Leo sun, Libra rising, Libra Venus, like all these other things.
Oh my gosh. And what's your moon?
I'm a Capricorn moon.
Look at your chart. Whoa. That's crazy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little.
I'm a Sag sun.
Love.
With an Aries rising and a Pisces moon.
Oh, you're sensitive.
Yeah.
You're emotional.
Yeah. But I didn't know how to do that for a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't. Because I had, I'm sandwiched between 2 giant fires.
Totally.
And then I'm here like, what do I do? So, a series of my own personal trauma that I won't get into now. Me shut down. My thing was compartmentalize everything. Mm-hmm. So I didn't cry for like 3 years.
Whoa.
It was awful. We won't get into it. But, and it's all about you know, being able to tap into that inner power, inner strength, and know that it's okay to have emotions about things, right? But you, on the other hand, your chart's all over the place.
It's kind of all over the place. I feel very connected to my Leo sun.
Oh, yeah.
I feel very like...
You do have a lioness look to you.
Thank you.
You do. But also the grounding of the Capricorn.
And also the Capricorn, I'm like very much like, I need to get this done. I'm
business mindset.
Very business mindset, very to-do list. Libra rising, I don't fully know what that means. Do you?
Yeah. So my best friend is a Libra, and she's all about the astrologicals. And so she gives me everything. I'm a Libra. And I'm like, okay, you know. So, but it's all about the balance, right? The Libra is I forget what those things are called, but the scale, I guess. And it's about the harmony of life and the harmony of good and bad and happy, sad. Like everything has that perfect balance to it. And so having that as your rising, that would be your inner self, as you can always gravitate towards that harmony on the inside of you and that balance that you possess without outwardly needing to express that, if that makes sense. Do you resonate with that? Do you feel that?
I totally do.
Okay, good.
And then I feel like the Leo in it is like,
that's the part that's like, yeah, exactly. That's the part that's like, you're going to hear me now, you know? But then the inside, you're like, but I have peace and harmony. And I'm calm and sustained, you know.
Totally.
So, yeah, you've got a great, I feel like that's such a powerful 3.
Thank you.
To be able to stand on, like, as a sturdy tripod of life, you know, to like, you've got the fire in you, you've got the harmony and the peace in you, and you've also got the mind to get it done, which is great. So do you find yourself being the leader of everybody in your band?
I would say I definitely have the qualities of a leader, and that I am really excited about getting everyone to do things and new opportunities. But I also think that we're very much like democratic.
Yeah, that's good.
And
that's good.
Our new drummer Jalen is also like an amazing leader, and I feel like the two of us together like are unstoppable.
Just like a yeah. I love that. That's always the best when you can have, because you know you're on the road together. You're crashing wherever at night and figuring out meals together and maybe sharing a bathroom all at the same time, you know, and no one can pick the music the entire road trip, right? So it's like, you got to be able to get along and you got to be able to have that rapport and to trust each other.
Totally.
And I imagine, like, I've never been on a tour. I've never, you know, I can't sit here and be like, I know how it is, but I can imagine that it's like, you want to be able to share this space with people that you trust with your mind and your spirit and your heart, because music is such a vulnerable thing and it has the potential to be extremely vulnerable. And having that space with those people that you can sit and trust, and just, you know, if you're having not such a great mental health day, that you know somebody else can pick up that leadership role and be like, everything's going to be okay, and know that that ball can be passed around.
Totally.
And that's such a safe thing to feel, and such a reassuring, I imagine, thing to feel, especially on the road, especially when you can't run back to your house for some alone time real quick, you know.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
You have that safe space in everybody.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And I also imagine if your relationship with your brother is good, I bet it is if you're in a band, you know, close. That you've got that family blood, you know. Obviously your other bandmates are still your family, but you've got your blood brother right there to be able to, and he's big brother, so you're like, hey. I
feel like very safe. We've like sometimes stayed places that are a little on the sketchier side, and I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful that my big brother is literally 10 feet away from me. And I think for our parents it gives them peace of mind, but it also scares them, because they're like, if something happens, there's both of our kids.
Are you guys the only two? Oh yeah, so they're like, well. Oh, that's so funny. I can't imagine as a parent. I'm sure they're so proud though.
They are very proud of us. It's good. It's so sweet.
That's really sweet. That's amazing that you guys can do that. Like, I wish I had a big brother. I have a lot of friends that are like my big brothers, but, you know, I don't have a brother. But I imagine that there's that sense of security, especially safe, like physical safety wise, and like sleeping in not the best places, and being able to, you know, your parents have that sense of security too, and to just share it together. That's really something special, you know?
Yeah.
So tell me also, with your tour, do you book, or does your band book the shows, or do you have somebody that kind of helps with that?
We have a team.
Okay.
It's like,
she's a team.
We have a team.
I'll have my team talk to your team.
It's like this is our first year like working with other people.
Wow.
In this capacity.
Yeah.
And so it's very exciting. And they found us through South by Southwest this past year.
Did you play South by?
We did it unofficially.
Okay, yeah.
But we played so many fun shows. I think we played like 9 or 10 shows that week.
Yeah, it can get crazy during that week.
It's an insane time. But I feel like that also is kind of like tour boot camp.
Yeah. Oh, good point.
You get in the groove of playing that much, like that often.
Back to back. Sometimes multiple shows a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's awesome. You get to go sleep in your own bed that night.
True.
But definitely prepared us to do other stuff.
So you found this person through South by.
Yeah.
Did they reach out to you?
Yeah, they reached out to us.
Oh, and she said, we're famous.
No, not famous.
They reached out to me. I didn't have to do anything.
But we knew that getting a booking agent was the next step for us. Yeah. Because touring was like a huge goal for us. Yeah. And we had been, I believe very strongly in the powers of manifestation.
Me too, girl. Right there with you. Yeah.
And I like would tell the moon every time it was full, like all of these things that I like wanted. And she listened. Yeah. But we were making these spreadsheets of all of the agents for the bands that we love and the bands that we feel like we're kind of in line with. Yeah. Whether it be like dream bands or like really realistic bands that are like maybe 3 or 4 steps ahead of us. Yeah, yeah. And so as we were like gearing up to send all of these emails out, then they reached out to us. And I was like, oh my God.
Hold the phone. Yeah. You don't need to do the work.
It was
Ask and you shall receive. I love that. That's such a unique story too. To be like, cool. We were ready to beg. We were on our hands and knees, and they said, "Get up, you're fine." Said, "Okay, cool." So has this booking agent been working out? Yeah, successful. I imagine you're doing another leg of your tour in the coming year. Yeah, we did. They had us do some headlining shows over the summer, and so we did like an East Coast and a West Coast run. Ooh. And then we just got off of tour supporting Cloud Nothings. Okay. And we also played with Equipment and Arm Lock, and that was really cool. Wow. And I feel like it's just been so amazing to like have the opportunity to get to travel in this way. And see the sights and meet new people. Absolutely. But they have just been so kind and gracious to us. Like, they're so sweet. We have a text group chat. Oh, yay. Any questions we have, they're like, we got you. That's and it's amazing. Like, so awesome that they took a chance on a baby band like us. Yeah. Like, that's really something, that they saw something in you guys and was like, you're going to be just fine, you know? But they're like the best people. They're so awesome. And whenever we play in New York, we stay with them. Oh, like, I love that. I love them. I love that. I've been trying to wiggle my way to New York soon. So if you're going to be there to play, perhaps I'll have to be there as well to watch. And then I'll be like, oh, dang, gotta go to New York to watch. That's going to be a perfect excuse. I'm looking for an excuse. So if you want to be that, we won't be in New York till May, but if you want to come in May. May's great. May gives me time. All right. May gives me a chance to find a dog sitter. So that's perfect. We'll have to discuss that after this. We'll talk. Yeah. Okay, so that being said, where has been your favorite place? And I want to know in terms of physical, like aesthetics and vibes wise, and then also people-wise,
Mm-hmm.
where has been your favorite to play? And where would you, like, if you have something in your mind, you're like, we have to go back?
There's so many, like, awesome places. Obviously, love New York and LA. Want to live in both of those places at some point in my life.
Yeah.
But those are, like, everyone knows those are awesome.
Yeah.
And, like, huge markets.
Huge markets.
But Asbury Park is so beautiful in New Jersey.
Oh.
And I never had any expectations of what New Jersey would be like. The only thing I ever thought about New Jersey before was, like, the Jersey Shore.
Snooki.
But that was also, like, forever ago, and I knew that wasn't, like, a representation of New Jersey.
This is New Jersey.
Yeah, obviously not. But we played in Asbury Park, New Jersey at this bar called the Wonder Bar.
Ooh.
And it was so stunning.
Really?
Like, the town is so cute.
Aww.
It's so beautiful.
Was it like a Hallmark movie vibe?
Yeah, kind of. And it was on the beach. Like, the beach was across the street.
Yeah.
And the people that worked there were just so kind.
Yeah.
Like, everyone there just took such good care of us.
I love that.
That was awesome.
I love that.
But I also loved Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
We played in Fort Collins, and it was so sweet because they had it all decorated for Christmas, like all these Christmas lights everywhere. And it's kind of like a college town. Like, I'd say, like, similar vibes to Denton.
Okay.
But we also saw so much snow. Like, I've never seen that much snow in my life.
Yeah, we as Texas girls, we don't get to witness snow like that.
It was so beautiful. And the people there were so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
I loved it too.
Good. Yay. Oh, that makes me excited for this next part of your tour. So how long are you going to be out?
Next year we're going to do like 3 days or 4 dates, doing like a Texas tour run.
Cute.
And that'll be really fun. We've never played in Houston before.
You've never played in Houston?
No, it's like our hometown.
You're like, you were born there.
So that's going to be fun. And I know, like, my family's going to come and be really excited. And then
your parents are like, finally.
I know.
Get a chance to see our children.
Like, finally we don't have to drive to Austin. But we're going to be doing a bigger tour in May, supporting Boston Manor. And that's going to be, I think, like 20 days.
Wow. Okay. That's a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
That's exciting. In New York, too.
Yes. And we'll be in New York.
I'll be there.
And Canada?
In Canada?
Yeah, we're going to Canada.
I'll get my passport. I'll be your little roadie. I'll just like be following along. Like,
that would be awesome. Tour manager.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so for Farmer's Wife, the genre, how would you describe it?
We've called it bubble grunge a lot.
Bubble grunge. I like that.
Which I found that term on Spotify on my day list.
The day list, they be coming up with the craziest things. Like the other day, I guess they're trying to craft new genres, which it works for bubble grunge.
Totally.
I love that. The other day, it's like bitter, breakup, frat boy, bachelor party afternoon.
Yes.
And I'm like, what do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Or it's like soul crushing Tuesday night. I'm like,
do you know something I don't? Like, I'm over here waking up. This is the best day ever. Spotify's like, you're depressed.
Maybe I was last week.
Right.
But
you're like,
this
is a new me. We're on a new day. So that was 5 hours ago. I was younger back then. I didn't know.
I also found another really good term on Daylist, whimsigoth.
Whimsigoth.
And I really identify with that.
I love that.
I love it
too. One of my favorite words to describe people that deserve it is whimsical.
Yes.
I love that word. Yes. So I say to my boyfriend, he's so rambunctious, hyper crazy, and I find him whimsical, and I love it. So that's whimsigoth. That's amazing. So it's like kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, kind of like punk grunge-esque.
Yeah, but still like ethereal.
But still like light and feathery.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do
It's
too.
like the literal fae fairies.
Yeah.
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 Like FAE.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God, I love that. So, okay, so tell me this. I heard a little secret.
Oh.
So you can tell me if you don't want it out there. No.
Okay.
So you have Farmer's Wife. Mm-hmm. But I hear that you also personally want to get into some more country.
Yeah.
Perhaps?
I have a lot of dreams.
Yeah, it's good to have dreams.
I have like this secret dream of being like a country singer and also being like a jazz singer.
Okay. So have you thought about perhaps dipping some toes?
I think a lot of stuff that I've written is definitely in the country realm, but I'd say more like folky. Mm-hmm. I've played one show. I played in New York, and that was like so crazy because I've also been like singing backup for a bunch of people starting like this year.
Yeah.
People have been asking me to like get in the studio, and I'm like, okay. If I must.
Yeah, fine, trust my firm. I'll be there.
But I went to New York to sing backup for this artist George Steele.
Okay.
For his album release show, and then he also asked me to open for him, and so I went and I took my boyfriend and he played banjo.
Oh my god!
It was really fun. And
so how'd it feel?
I was so scared.
Really?
I was like way more scared than I've ever been for any of like the Farmer's Wife shows.
Yeah.
Because it just feels way more like
it's brand new.
It's brand new.
Yeah.
No one has really heard it. It's all like very personal and but
how brave of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It was kind of easier in a sense because it was like most of the people at that show didn't know me at all.
Right. So it feels a little less intimidating of like, don't perceive me.
Yeah. And it's like if I never see these people again, it doesn't matter like what they think of me.
Right.
But
exactly.
It was really, really fun. I had a great time. And then singing backup for George Steele was so much fun.
That sounds like so much fun.
Crazy. And then there were 2 other girls singing backup and it was just like this huge dance party.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
I think I'm going to record some of my songs.
Your country songs? Your folksy songs?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I'm wanting to record them. Maybe like right now I'm thinking like maybe just on a tape machine and put it on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Very DIY, very
raw.
Yeah.
Very you.
Because I love Karen Dalton. She's one of my biggest inspirations. Yeah. And all of her stuff is just so raw. It's just her and a guitar, and it's so beautiful.
Wow.
But most of her songs are covers, and I didn't know that until I'd been listening to her for like a year. But the way that she plays them and the way that she sings them, like they're way better than any of the originals.
Well,
it's awesome.
Of course. I love that. That's incredible.
Thank you.
I want to encourage you to keep doing that because there's clearly something in your soul that's like, we must. So don't ignore it.
Okay.
Try the jazz.
I love singing
Try
jazz.
the jazz.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I was thinking I would go to like the Elephant Room and do one of the open jams sometime, but it's so scary.
It is scary. But you know what's scarier? Denying yourself the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because even if you go to one open jam sesh and you're like, I'm just going to try, there are no stakes. The stakes could not be lower.
That's true.
You know? And you can try it. And then if you get a feel for it, notice your body and how it's responding in the moment. And if you're like, that wasn't really for me, guess what? You didn't lose nothing.
Yeah.
You may be an hour of your time, but that's about it. And then if you realize, actually, I'm lighting up on the inside and that nothing has felt easier, then you also have that insight. And you don't have to confine yourself to one genre.
Wow, that was beautiful and inspiring.
Yay!
Thank you.
I just really, my biggest thing is I have never been a corporate job girly. Mm-hmm. I've never been, a desk job. My very first job I ever had was Smoothie King, and I was there for 2 days, and it was high school. That was because my dad came in. The place was gross, and he was like, "You're not working here," and I was like, "Okay." So I didn't. Yeah, I was like, "Thank God." But I quit my real job. I was nannying for a really long time, and I love those kids, and we still hang out to this day, and I'm so blessed to have gotten to help raise them and watch them grow. But I quit my nanny job almost 2 full years now ago to pursue arts full time. And it's not easy and it's not fun all the time. but you might as well try, you know? And so every single person that I meet and that I come across in life with is, first of all, never by accident. And second of all, I feel like it's my personal mission to make sure that everybody who is an artist knows, why not? Why not? You know, you only get one life. You only get one. You don't get one opportunity. You're going to have a million opportunities, but you get one life and this body and this realm and this world, you know, and who cares? Ultimately, it's like, there are no rules. There are literally no rules. If you do music your entire life and you're like, this is my calling, this is what I have to do, this is what fuels my soul, and you wake up one day and you're like, I have to be a janitor, you go be a janitor. There are no rules. Who cares what everybody else is doing? Who cares how you're being perceived? Who cares about the 2 cents from everybody else? If you're, quote, known for this whimsigoth music and you're like, I can't do jazz, it's not a part of my niche, who gives a F? You know, like, might as well. And plus, if you have kids one day, or if you speak to any kind of youth one day, anybody younger than you, you'll be able to say, look what I did.
Yeah.
I did that. You know why? Because I wanted to. Because it was fun. Because it fueled my soul. And that's all anybody can ever ask for in life, is for a fulfilled soul, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're doing, which is incredible. And I want you to know that it's inspiring.
Oh, wow. This is like... I was not expecting this conversation
gosh.
Be so like emotionally fulfilling.
Oh, good. Yay. I love that. I mean, that's my thing.
Awesome.
Is like, I love talking to people, and I love talking to people that have so much depth to them, which you do. And you have so much to bring to the table. And I want you to know that and use that. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So tell me, and everybody listening, what is next for you? And I want you to spill a little intel on the process thus far, because I know probably so many people are looking for how to find a booking agent or who to contact, or, you know, if there are hidden rules behind that or whatever. So what kind of insight do you have as far as bringing other people into your team? And what's next? That was a loaded question.
Do you mean like what to say to people looking to like?
Yeah, like maybe an artist who is more independent, and maybe they have it's just them and their band, and they do their recording and stuff, but they are trying to outreach to people. Like, what would be your best inside scoop on that?
I would say just put it all out on the line. Like, be yourself.
Be brave.
Completely. Be brave. Yeah. And also, if you're going to reach out to people, do not send the same email to 50 different people, because they probably know each other, friends, or they all know each other. They all work together. Yeah. And so,
good point.
If you send,
hey, ChatGPT, write me an email.
Yeah, just be like incredibly personal, and also know what it is about these people that makes you drawn to them, and not just be like, oh, I want this. Yeah. I want this, and you are the vessel. Yeah. Be like, I love the work that you're doing, and I love like the way that you interact with this type of music. Yeah. And that's why I'm interested in you.
That's amazing. Yeah. It's all about the personability, because anyone can go on there and be like, I want to work with you.
They also get like 5 million emails a day.
Yeah. So if it's going to make you stand out. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. I love that. Absolutely love that. So what can we expect from you moving forward, besides the tour, of course?
So we're going to do an EP next year.
Wow.
We're going to do a single in January and in March. And then we'll do the EP in April. Okay. And so our next song, Mildew, is going to be coming out in January. Okay. 17th, tentative release date.
Love that.
And that's going to come out with the music video. We're really excited
about
a
music video.
And just more music. That.
You said Mildew, which reminded me, I almost forgot. So you have done some work with Marshall. Yeah. For the, what's it called?
Writer's Block.
The Writer's Block, right?
That was so fun.
So tell me about that real quick.
So Marshall reached out to me, and was like, hey, you want to come do this thing? And I was like, well, sure.
Might as well.
And what I've learned about Marshall is that, well, Marshall is a yes man.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And so
he's a good supportive voice.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I've learned that like being a yes man for Marshall is like a great way to like just encounter amazing new experiences in life.
That's why we're here.
What's happening right now in the writer's block.
Yeah. So how magical was it to be able to just get to, first of all, did you know anybody going into this?
I did know a couple people, but I didn't know that they were going to be there until I was there on the day.
What a pleasant surprise.
It was really cool. Like I walked in and saw my friend Andrew and I was like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
'Cause I was so scared.
Yeah.
Because I've like been doing this band thing.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've mostly worked with people that I know incredibly well.
Yeah.
Who know me incredibly well.
Yeah.
Like, we all know each other inside and out. And so that makes it feel really safe to be bad and to fail and to write a shitty song and everyone be like, yeah,
and
whatever.
Experiment with it. Yeah.
But I was really scared to like go into this room with like new people and I'll be like, what if they think that like I'm stupid and horrible?
Yeah. Again, it's hard to be perceived sometimes.
But then I got there and it was like just so much fun.
Yay.
And I remember that morning I was like freaking out. I was like, I should just cancel. Like I can't go. But then I went and I'm so glad that I went.
I'm so glad you went too.
The space we were in was just stunning. It's called Point West Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just this like amazing space with all of this wonderful equipment and like really kind people working there.
Yeah.
And we would write a song. We were divided into groups of like 4 or 5. We'd write a song, immediately record it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
But so fun.
Super fun. And then there was this one song we did called Dewdrops, and that was like really magical to like see that come to fruition. And then when we were recording it and then like adding all of this different production on there and everyone was hopping on and like do harmonies.
I love that.
That was like really cool to see, and to also be like going to the bathroom and then you hear this banger being made in the next room.
Oh, from somebody else's group. Yeah. You're like, wait, what's going on?
What is, can I get in that group?
Yeah.
Like, damn.
I love that. That's just such an amazing idea to have people from like different kinds of musicians from all different walks of life, all different genres, all different, perspectives, and say, I'm going to give you a challenge. 2 hours, bust it out. We're recording it. You don't get any more time than that.
Yeah.
And that breeds, because I got to hear Dewdrops.
Yeah.
And that breeds amazing product, and to just provide that safe space to be able to experiment without being judged, and to be able to say, hey, we're all going to figure it out together. And you did. And it's amazing.
It was so fun.
Do you think you'll do it again?
If there's another one of those, I would totally do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do want to say, because we'll wrap up here in a second, I'm so proud of you, for starters, because something I've noticed throughout every little part of this conversation that we've had is that, mental health is obviously something that a lot of people struggle with. I struggle with it myself. I know you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but throughout this entire conversation, you have just highlighted how much bravery you have and that you possess and that you keep pushing forward. And it can be really scary. It can be really, really hard. This world is really brutal and really scary and really intimidating sometimes. And being so young and having such a good, I'm going to do it mindset is incredible. And it's so powerful. And I want you to hold on to that.
Oh, you're making me cry.
No, don't cry.
Thank you.
Of course. I just want you to know that it doesn't go unseen. And, we barely know each other. We met today.
Yeah.
But everything about this conversation is that is what speaks volumes about you as an artist, is your bravery. And you keep on doing it, and you're making amazing things because of your bravery and your support system, of course. So keep doing that. And I want everybody out there watching and listening to take a note from Molly's book and be brave and be bold and try the new thing, and, you know, make friends. Don't cancel on that random event that you were like, that might be weird or not, you know, like try those things, because you never know. And all any of us want is to be happy. All any of us want is to be fulfilled, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't know if it's going to be fulfilling until you do it. And I think you are a fabulous example of being that pillar of bravery to push through and pioneer that route for yourself. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Do you have any other closing notes that you'd like to add?
Thank you to the Goose for having us.
Yes, thank you to the Goose for having us. Yes, Dave at the Goose, he is an angel for letting us commandeer his space. And of course, our fabulous producer Marshall, he is the one that's facilitating all of this, and we wouldn't be here without him.
No, we wouldn't.
So thank you, Marshall, and thank you, Dave at the Goose, and we will see you next week.
Bye. Bye.